Right. Oh, let me move this over because I can't see you and I need visual cues. Oh, and let me start the timer.
Oh, good call. Otherwise, we'll talk for
Yeah, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it.
years.
Okay. Okay, one more second and we get adjusted. Okay, here we go. Hey, Jabbers, welcome back to another episode. Today, we are back with a mini episode and we're talking about deals and discounts. Is it a tool small business owners should use to grow their business, or does it attract the wrong kind of client? We are discussing it all right now. So get ready and let's go.
Awesome. So, Gabby, have you ever discounted your services? And if so, what was the outcome?
I think we both maybe have a similar answer.
Yes.
Yes, I absolutely have discounted my services in moments of panic and or intimidation. Like I would be intimidated by a client who kept trying to haggle, and as a people pleaser, I absolutely fell for it. And I will say, maybe not every single time, but in the majority of cases, the outcome was never good. What I mean by that is I definitely think the saying, give an inch, they take a mile,
Mm,
really applies here. If they know they can get some money back from you for some reason, they think that they can also get you to work more for free.
yeah.
So I've definitely experienced that and I've had yeah, I've made more work for myself in that way. And I felt at the end that they were not grateful. I don't know why that is, but it's happened on several occasions. And so I always felt like that was a lesson to be learned. I had to learn it a few times, but I left thinking, nope, discounting my wedding planning services is probably not the way to go. What about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I've definitely done it over the years. I think typically, I don't know why, but maybe when I first started, I feel like people asked all the time if they could have a lower price point or match another planner that they got a price point from. And I did feel very intimidated and just like wanted to be like, sure, of course I'll do it because I wanted the client. But now, as obviously we've been in business longer, I definitely am like, nope, that's the price point, take it or leave it type of thing, which sometimes doesn't work out for me, but they leave it behind, you know. But I also think like it's probably a blessing, right? Like those are not your ideal clients because I think those people that ask for the discount don't respect your work to start with. So we end up working more, we're more stressed with those clients, and it just is like a bad outcome for us in the end. Like maybe the client has a great time, but they also got away with discounting our services. So I definitely don't do it anymore. I think sometimes if I really want a client and like they seem really ideal and they haven't even asked for a discount, sometimes I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll lower the pricing just a little bit to get them because I like kind of know what their budget is. Just because I don't want to lose out. But I've also not done that in the past and been like, nope, I'm gonna stick to my pricing and send it, and then they book anyway. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to know for yourself, but I do think anyone that asks for a discount doesn't really value you and your services, and they're just trying to get the best deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay. I will also say that we go into it feeling resentful. I think if we've given that discount and we're like, I'm not even making a huge profit. At the end of the day, we're a business. The goal of the business is to make a profit. Like it's our livelihood. And I don't know what it is with the wedding industry. I think once upon a time, people were encouraged to haggle, like some
Mhm.
of the old blog posts out there will say like, yes, definitely negotiate with your wedding vendors. And I make sure to tell clients when we start out saying, or when we have the inquiry call, I say, hey, I'm not here to necessarily haggle or negotiate your wedding vendors down. However, there are relationships that we've created that they know that I am going to send them really great clients and they will offer a discount to you
Yep.
because we're working together. Now, that being said, we're a lot of the vendors have to deal with us as the planner, so they know that relationship is going to be a good relationship. But us as planners, we're dealing with the client, so we have to put up, a financial boundary
Yeah.
because we don't know what we're getting ourselves into.
And I've added that to my contract saying like I do not negotiate or haggle
Yeah.
with vendors. 'Cause yeah, I think most clients kind of, yeah, it's like their thing. They're like, no, we're gonna get the pricing down. And I'm like, these are small business owners who, sorry, something weird just popped.
Oh,
Um,
stop.
these
Start
are
your
small,
sentence.
sorry.
Sorry.
And I think these are small business owners, and sometimes I think our clients forget that because one myth that is always going around is everyone always says, "Oh, the pricing is so much higher just because you slapped the word wedding on it." And I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe it is higher because your wedding day is different than your 10th birthday party, Karen. Okay. Like there's so much more emotion
Yeah.
involved, and it's like a once in a lifetime event for a majority of people, right? And so they don't want it to just be half-ass, so to
Yeah.
speak.
It's so true. Yeah, that is the argument we've heard a lot, but you're right. And that's what wedding vendors say is like, we can't mess this up. Like, we have to be on our A game. We're not taking on five other clients that weekend. We
Right.
are fully dedicated to you and your wedding over the course of the next 72 hours or whatever it is. So, yeah. Yeah, I think there is a time and place, however, for discounts. We kind of mentioned it a little bit, like the vendor relationship. Sometimes vendors, knowing that they have a good relationship with the planner, will offer a deal or a combo package of something or other, throw in a freebie. And I think that is always appreciated. For us, when we get an inquiry about a certain venue that we work at a lot, and oftentimes we are on the preferred list, I like to offer them a discount because I know that venue like the back of my hand. I
Yep.
also know the level of support that venue is providing. So that is very different because if I go in, even just for a coordination package, if I go in to a DIY, build your own space up, and there's no venue manager in sight, and I know I'm going to be the restroom plunger person and I'm going to be the power person, that is a very different price point than if I know I'm going to a boutique hotel that offers in-house catering and bar services and their own rentals. I'm literally just there as a project manager, making sure my couple is going to the right place. So I think
Yeah.
that's a very different experience. And I have discounted preferred venues that where we're on the preferred list.
Same. Yeah. I think we don't offer like coordination anymore. I decided I didn't want to do it, but I'll make exceptions for like two different venues in the Los Angeles area because I know they're super easy. Again, they have like in-house stuff. I've worked there for years, and it's just, I know that it can't be like a crazy logistical wedding because of the venue itself. So, yeah, I think it's kind of weighing those discounts for your own business and how you want to, sell that to clients. With that, Gabby, do you think, I guess in your opinion, do you value the service or product the same if it is discounted? And do you think your clients also value it the same?
Mm, great question. I've both. I think on one of our previous episodes, we talked about the free things we sign up for that we never do, right? So, like, free for sure is never valued the same, in my opinion, as a priced item. But obviously, we're not talking here about offering a wedding for free versus a paid one. Um, when it reaches a certain number, like in the thousands, I still think I value it the same, but I am like really pumped to get even $250 off.
Yeah.
Um, I think every little bit when you're in the thousands helps. So I imagine our clients probably do feel the same. But I also know as the service provider, I know they're spending a lot of money on their wedding, and I want to make sure I'm giving them my absolute best. And that's why we're not booking five weddings every weekend because we don't want to spread our time over too many clients. We want to make sure they are getting the best of us. And I really think that the feedback we've gotten so far from everybody is that they valued us, uh, you know, valued our time and valued our expertise. That being said, going back to kind of the original point, we've been stepped all over when we've discounted too much. And I'm trying to think back to numbers because this was definitely at the beginning of our planning journey. And at the time, I probably was charging like $1,400 for coordination, right? And I
Yeah.
know I've discounted it down to 1,000 at times just to like get somebody. And in that moment, I was like, gosh, $1,000, I could do so much with that. And in reality of like running a business and everything that goes behind it at the very end and all the hours you put in, there's very little left.
Yeah.
And those were the people that took advantage of my services for sure and asked me to do everything for them. But now they're wearing the few thousands for that same package. I definitely think it's weeded out people that don't take this seriously and don't value us as much. And they really say, you know what, this is an investment. And that's the other thing. We call it an investment in our brochures. We don't call it just a price, it's an
Yeah.
investment. Like we are working with you over a long period of time.
Yeah. And it's worth it for sure.
What
I
about
think,
you?
I mean, I think there's like a weird psychological thing for humans, right? Like we don't want to buy something if the shipping is $8, but if we get free shipping, we'll do it. You know what I mean? Or like
Yes.
certain price points. Like I know there's studies on things that's like 3.99 you'll purchase, but if it was like 4.15, you're like, "Ooh, maybe it's a little too much." And so I think there is a time and place for discounts and deals without undervaluing your services, right? Like you could run a promotion for Black Friday that's like a couple $100s off, or maybe you're throwing in something instead of discounting the pricing, something that isn't really costing you anything. Like maybe it's an extra hour of
Hmm.
photography on the wedding day, and that adds a lot of value to people, but like you're not really losing out on a ton of money, right? So I think
Hmm.
again, it's like evaluating it for your business and like still keeping the quality there so that it doesn't seem like you're such at a low price that they're wondering like why is her pricing so low
Right.
compared to other people that we're interviewing for our wedding.
Right. Well, and you and I have both worked with Maria Bayer in the past, and I think we've brought this up in several episodes, but we talk about making sure that we're showing the value upfront, not just the list of things we're providing them. So like when we're doing these inquiry calls, it's not so much as like here's the whole list of like we call your vendors, we collect COIs, we make a timeline, but it's really like showing the emotional benefits to them saying we actually make sure that you are dressed and ready before your photographer gets here for detail shots or what, whatever it is. Or we make sure that you don't have to even stress about talking to a vendor for their load in time because we take that over months before the wedding day. And it's really playing on like what is scaring them the most and why are they investing in a planner in the first place? It's not just to go around bragging to people that they had a wedding planner. I mean, I wish.
Yep.
But it's truly because we serve a really great purpose. And the number one reason is because they don't want to stress on the wedding day. But like for you not to stress on the wedding day requires us stepping in months in advance to make sure you have all the pieces figured out and done correctly so that we're not stressing on the wedding day, therefore you're not stressing. So I think like really making sure that we're showing that value, the emotional value that we provide, um, is what's going to make our price, I guess, justified in a way.
Yeah. Because I think, like we said, we can figure out discounts and deals in our own businesses and how to offer that to clients. Like maybe it is combining, different services for a discount. Sometimes I'll add in, like, I'll help create your wedding website to like
Yeah.
my full planning package because I know it's like a low level thing for me that's really easy. They like fill out a questionnaire, I input everything on Zola or something,
Yeah.
and so I think giving that extra support that is really a low added cost for me. Yeah, it's my time. It's not I'm not losing money on like paying other people, but I think it's worth it to add something that could take me like an hour to put together. But it really shows a value to the client. So I think kind of adding something to your packages is really helpful as well to kind of feel like they're getting more instead of lowering your pricing to give them a discount.
Yeah. Yep, I agree, all of that. And I'd be curious to know from our listeners too what they've done and what their experience has been, because I think we've all gone through this where we feel some level of insecurity about our pricing. It's really scary every time we raise our prices. Um, and there, like we said, there is a time and place for discounts. Would love to know what people think about that, and when it's worked really well for them without feeling like they've been taken advantage of.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you, Jabbers, for listening today to our mini episodes. At the end of the day, you just need to evaluate your business and decide what is best for you on offering discounts and lowering your pricing, especially if you're struggling to book more clients. The whole world doesn't need to know that you lowered your pricing for a couple of months because bills got to be paid. So go out there with confidence and know your worth.
Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Oops.
Well, we're like we're always so awkward on the ending.
Talk
Bye.
to you soon. Like I'm hanging up the phone.
Like